to the power of one. Today, we're going to have that conversation with a mother and a sister who love their loved one unconditionally, no matter the decision that they made. This show is dedicated to MJ. MJ was a great advocate of the LGBTQIA plus community. We have to learn to love one another. Just because I'm different from you does not give you the right to judge me. So we don't need to judge anyone. We need to love on each other and accept each other. Today, I'm going to speak with a mother who loved her child unconditionally, no matter the choice her child made. Today, I'm going to be speaking with Miss Tara Jackson, and I'm going to be speaking with a wonderful sister of MJ. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having us.
No problem. So, Mom, we're going to start with you. I want you to just tell the viewers of that day when your baby was born, and what was your baby's name, and just paint the picture for us of your child, let's say going up until maybe high school.
Okay. Well, MJ was known as Markiya. Was born on December the 12th, 1989. Markiya was a beautiful little girl.
You got it. I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. No need to be sorry at all.
She was a beautiful little girl. She always tried to help everybody. She always swept the dust, the dirt outside in the yard at my mom's house. Even though she told us it's just dirt, she didn't care. She wanted to do it anyway. When Markiya turned about 9 months, first when Markiya was born, she was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. So they had pronounced her dead because I didn't give her no prenatal care. And back then I wasn't thinking about it. I just did it. And my mother, her name is Frances, what they call her granny, her and her best friend prayed over her. And they brought her back so she could come to the world and be with me. So as she got older into her age, she started, playing ball. She started playing with baby dolls. Then after a while, she stopped playing with the doll babies. Then she wanted to turn to the cars. Then I said, okay. Then I moved to Philadelphia. I let her and my other children stay with my mom until I got myself together.
And where was mom? Where was mom living?
In Lancaster, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then after that, I, always come and visit, make sure everybody was okay, see if they needed anything. So when Markiya came to me and told me at the age of 17 that I bought her a prom dress. I wish I had the pictures. I can't find it, but I bought her a white prom dress with some silver shoes. And her hair was out. So I told her, I said, you look cute. She said, yeah. And this will be your last time seeing me with this dress on. I said, okay. Then she said, I'm serious. I said, okay, I understand. Whatever you want to do, that's fine with me. Then she came to me a little bit when she turned like 17 to 18. She told my mom that she liked the girls. And then my mom called me on the phone. She said, hey, Markiya got something to tell you. I said, okay. She said, you ready for it? I said, yeah, just tell me. She said, well, Mom, I like girls. I don't like no boys. I said, okay, fine. I love you regardless. Whatever you choose in life, that's who you want to be. I still gonna love you. Then she say, well, okay, so I'm gonna move with you to Philadelphia. I said, okay. I said, why? She said, because here in this small town like South Carolina, it's not really that acceptable. Because people there is not open-minded than the people here in Philadelphia. So by her coming here and staying here and going to the military and doing the things that she wanted to do to be free to who she wanted to be, I said, okay, fine, that's good with me. And then that's when she started bringing her little friends over, and they little friends spent the night, and everything was fine and dandy. And I told them, I said, I love you.
That's excellent, Ms. Jackson. Did you have any indication when she was growing up that your daughter was different?
Yeah. I knew
Okay.
when she stopped playing with those baby dolls, there was something that was going on. Because immediately at 7, she just said, no dolls. She didn't want the dolls. And that's when she started messing with her brother's trucks and cars and stuff like that. So I knew something was different, but it wasn't just showing me right then and there. But I knew something was going to actually change. And then that's when she came out to me at the age of 17 and told me that she was going to do it. And I said, okay. And then after that, she got used to being who she is. And then she said, Mom, I don't want no boobs no more. I said, okay, you don't want no boobs? No, I don't want no boobs no more. So, okay, so she got the money up and she got her boobs removed.
How old was she at that age?
I think she was 20, about 22.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
22,
23 years old. And she went to get the surgery done and she got her boobs removed. I said, okay. So we worked on with that, and she said, you fine with it? I said, listen, I told you, no matter what you do, you still my baby. And I'm going to still love you.
Now, when she decided to have her chest removed, was she still in the image of a female, or is that when she was making the transition into?
She already had facial hair. It was growing in. As the age of 16, it was growing in. And then it started getting thicker. And then afterwards, that's when everything else, the chest and everything. So once she did that, then we went to Heinemann Hospital. And Heinemann had wanted to know that she wanted to take her ovaries and put them on the outside, steady like the men's, which is on the inside. The men's, that's how the facial hair developed. A lot of people ask, did she take any hormones? No, she didn't take any hormones. Her organs wasn't the same. It just came out more manly-like. And that's when she decided that she was going to be MJ. And then MJ changed to Markiya.
Okay. So please tell me who this lovely young lady is that's sitting next to you.
This is my youngest daughter. This is Markiya Jackson, but we call her MJ as well.
Okay. So MJ number 2. That's what we're going to call it. Now, so MJ number 2, you're younger than MJ number 1?
Yeah, we are 4 years apart. So I'm 29 and MJ's 33.
Okay. So growing up and being a child, tell me what your perception of your sister transforming into your brother was. Was you always accepting? Tell me what your perception was of all of this, even as a young child.
So growing up, I was in the South with them, of course, up until about 9 when I came to Philadelphia to stay with my mom. But prior to that, MJ and I were always together. We lived on one side of the town and my grandma worked on the other side of the town. So I have like a lot of memories of growing up of MJ just being my protector. It never bothered me whenever MJ transitions. When I was younger, I watched MJ play basketball all the time. I watched MJ be uncomfortable at my uncle's wedding in a dress. And at the time, I think MJ was maybe like 12 or something like that. MJ was very uncomfortable in a dress. MJ didn't care to wear a two-piece swimsuit. That was never her thing. Like, I remember going to the pool growing up, and MJ would wear our brother's boxer briefs and put on a t-shirt and had her sports bra under it. And that was comfortable to her. So to me, nothing didn't seem abnormal. It was just like me living everyday life with my sister. And so I remember the story when my mom and my grandma, broke the news that MJ liked females. And I was just like, oh, okay, no problem. I already knew that. And I remember them asking me how, and I was just like, well, I can see, I can understand that she's uncomfortable. And that those things like her being feminine doesn't make her happy. Her playing basketball, her being rough, her going to get me out of a tree makes her happy. Like her climbing gates, her chasing dogs and stuff, that made her happy. And I never looked at MJ whenever like she transitioned to a guy. I never looked at her any differently because only thing I saw was my protector. He's always, they've always been my protector growing up. She's the oldest child. I'm the youngest. And we have a brother that's right next to her. He would get on my nerves and MJ would let me beat him up. So it was always hand in hand. And so I love MJ for MJ.
That's beautiful. Now, Mom and MJ number 2, did you ever see anything firsthand when MJ made the decision that I'm going to live my life the way I want to? Did you ever see any discrimination? Did you ever see anyone being mean and nasty? And did you ever think to yourself, how could you judge someone? This is his decision. This has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Did you tell me what you saw?
Well, in South Carolina, MJ used to tell me when he was going to school, when he was in 11th and 10th and 12th grade, the kids used to pick on him because of her being who she wanted to be. And there they used to it was teachers that I used to went to school with. I used to work at the school like 2 years ago. And the teacher came to me and she said, you look familiar. And I'm like, why I look familiar? And she said, I got a person right here on my picture on my wall. It was a picture of MJ in the number 12 basketball jersey. And she sat me down and she told me, she said, your child had a hard time. I said, really? She said, yeah. She said she used to come in my classroom and be so angry because people would pick with her because she wanted to be who she wanted to be. And teachers didn't understand her. So she used to wear her hair down in a ponytail, but would comb her hair back and put it in back the way it was so people won't look at her or judge her any kind of way. So the Spanish lady, and I think of the day, the Spanish lady said she used to sit there and she would talk with her and tell her, whoever you want to be, you just be it. You would be happy to the person that you're in and the skin that you're in. And she used to say, Miss Sarah, she said, these teachers wasn't nice. They did not accept the fact. It was times that when MJ would be in a car with my mom's, one of her friends, and they taking them to the store. And the lady and twin, which is MJ's good friend, they was in the car together and they was talking. And the lady said, well, y'all need to spread apart because I don't like stuff like that. So my mom had to turn around and ask her, what's the problem? And she said, oh, they just stand too close. They got too much stuff going on. My mom told that lady, don't you ever pick me up again or say anything out the way to my grandbaby. You understand? Because this is what they choose to be. If you don't like it, You don't have to open up your eyes to see it. Walk past them. So it was a lot of times. Now here in Philadelphia, MJ didn't have that problem. It was open. And a little bit, but it wasn't that bad.
And
like
bad.
it is in the South.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your life changed recently. Both of your lives changed recently. Tell me about a call that you received that was so devastated to you, Mom, and to you, MJ, too.
Well, I got the call on December the 13th that my child was missing. So I took it upon myself to say, okay, let me find him. Called around to the hospital. They said it wasn't there. Then the 14th, I went to look for my child. This was my second time going to look. Well, I went to go look for my child. And that's when I got a guy friend of mine who goes with me. And he went with me to go find my child. And that's when he discovered where my child was at. So.
And tell us where your child was at and what happened to him.
He was in the back of an alley of this gentleman's house, completely with nothing on but a t-shirt and boxers, sitting up against the wall with no shoes, no socks, no pants, no nothing, beat to death. Yeah.
MJ2, how did you discover this information?
It's okay.
I was coming back from Norristown when my best friend in South Carolina sent me a text, and she said, "I'm so sorry. I love you so much. I just got the bad news." Then I called my brother, Martinez, and I asked him if it's something that I need to be told. He couldn't tell me. He wasn't ready to tell me. So called my mom, and her friend picked up the phone, and I was just like asking about where my mom was. And in that moment, I knew something wasn't right. And I just asked, where's MJ? Somebody got to tell me something. And nobody wanted to tell me yet. But I found out just by putting it all together. And then I remember calling my brother's girlfriend, who was supposed to be his girlfriend at the time. And I was just asking her, where's my brother? Has she talked to them? Has she talked to him? And, has she talked to my mom recently? And then she let me know, like, my brother's gone. And then I really broke down. And then her reaction to me was, you need to calm down. He's in a better place. And that to me definitely raised the eyebrow to me. Because how can you already make peace with something that's so devastating to us so soon?
Right. Now, when you were calling around, you knew something was wrong, but you didn't know with who. And you just put two and two together that it was MJ.
Yeah, because right before I went to Norristown, I talked to my mom, and she was letting me know she was going to go look for MJ. And then she also let me know about the conversation that she had with his girlfriend the night prior, which was no, I'm sorry, that was Tuesday. That was the 13th, right? Yep. So the 13th, I actually went to Amtrak to pick up my mom. She wasn't even back in the city for 24 hours when we got the bad news. And I picked her up, and at 7:46 and at 7:48, her and I got the same messages from his girlfriend asking us about MJ's whereabouts. And we was just like letting her know, like, no, MJ's supposed to be with you. We questioned her about that. And everything she kept giving us was didn't make sense, or it seemed fabricated.
Now, did you come to discover that because MJ was of the LGBTQIA plus community, that is why he was murdered?
Well, we got one thing that really stuck out to us when my mom showed up at the scene and discovered MJ's body along with her friend. One of the suspects said to my mom, I didn't know if that was a man or a woman. And I don't deal with none of this family stuff, but he was cursing. Okay. That to me definitely raised the eyebrow, because why would it matter if it's a man or a woman? It's a human. They have a heart. God created them. We all deserve a chance to live full lives and not to be beaten or taken out of this world so tragically and be mistreated in our last minutes like that. I know my brother. I can close my eyes and I can know my brother. So I put myself in his shoes, his last minutes, simply because we resemble each other a lot. Mm-hmm. My brother, we're the same height. We got the same face structure. Our body build is the same. If my brother and I was to put on the same exact outfit, and for somebody, if we were to turn to our back and somebody to say, pick MJ, they would probably pick the wrong person because we look so much alike. I know his mannerisms. I know what he does and don't do. My brother was a kind, loving soul. I've never, in my whole 29 years, can think of one person that my brother has harmed with his hands or his words. I can't think of one person. And that hurts the most, because when you know someone's character, you know that he did not deserve that. And so I put myself in his shoes, even though it was uncomfortable for me to have to think about what he went through, but I had to, because I didn't know another way.
Yeah. Because my mother lives in South Carolina. I got on the train at 6:35 from Charlotte. And my mother told me, she said, Tara, I feel something. And I'm like, what you feeling? And she said, listen, I felt this spirit. And she said she felt her baby in a house somewhere, trapped and trying to get out and couldn't get out. And when I called, I didn't get a chance to contact her to tell her what was going on, because I was still dealing with what the man had told me. And then when I got him to contact my mom broke down. Right now, today, my mother is still hurt.
She's sick.
She's sicker than sick.
I've never seen my grandma this sick.
My mother lost her sister, her brother, to lose her first grand, that was her favorite, that was her everything. I just want the people to know, don't think I'm not going to get my justice. I'm going to get my justice, because you got to tell me, how did you let these two people walk away like this?
Right. Now, MJ's birthday was 12. Okay. So MJ just celebrated a birthday, 12/12/22. MJ was murdered on 12/13/2022.
12/12.
MJ was murdered
on his birthday
because the body sat too long. And then when the coroners told me that the body was being decomposed, that means that the body was sitting a little longer inside somewhere. And then you decide to pull it out. When I asked them, they touched him, they said he was cold, but not ice cold.
Okay.
So he was there, and when the man had him at, that's where he was at, and then they decided to take him outside.
Ms. Jackson and MJ Chu, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story. You are a true example of what unconditional love should look like, and that you should be applauded for. I thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. Getting MJ's story out there and just bringing more awareness to situations like this so they won't happen again.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we all are God's people and we all deserve a chance.
Yes.
Nobody has a right to harm anybody in this world, or to make someone feel like they don't belong here, or to make them feel like they're weird people because of who they love or their lifestyle. It's not for anybody to judge. We're not here to condemn one another. Yes. We're here to do God's work. And that's what MJ did. He did God's work. He helped the community. He helped my mother. He helped me. He helped me with my daughter. He helped his friends. He helped random people. And that's what God's work is. That's what God's work is. He never judged anybody. He's told everybody that he loved, be yourself and be unapologetically you. Like, yes, whether somebody likes it or not, you're going to find your group of people. And he taught me how to live that way and just be me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please understand, you do not have the right to judge anyone. This show is dedicated to MJ, a wonderful advocate of the LGBTQIA+ community. MJ started a wonderful mission, and that mission will never die, because his family is now carrying that mission on their shoulders and on their backs. Yes. The LGBTQIA+ community will have unconditional support from the Jackson family. Please understand, the power of one starts with you. Stop judging and stop thinking that you have the right to take someone else's life that is different from you. Peace and love.